Great day, grade 10! It's another day of learning and fun experience with your teacher explorer, Mama Reese. Join me in discovering English around us. Have your self-learning module and pen ready with you. Looking back to our previous lesson, we learned the different writing techniques that we can use in writing an essay. Can you answer, what is the purpose of informative text? Is it letter A, to persuade you to do something? Or letter B, to describe how a scene might look in a novel? Letter C, to provide clear facts about something, or letter D, to tell you how to do something. Number 2. This passage is an example of informative text. Is it true or false? Number 3. What is this text passage trying to persuade you to do? Letter A, to go on a holiday. Letter B, to make some home improvements. Letter C, to take out a loan with the advertising loan company. Or letter D, to buy something you've always wanted. Number 4. Informative or persuasive? Number 5. Junior high school is much better than senior high school because of a unique experience. This is an example of informative, persuasive, or argumentative statement. Always remember that an informative essay outline is written to inform the reader. It is sometimes called an informative article or an expository essay. The intention is to educate the reader, to inform them on a particular subject or topic. A persuasive essay is written to persuade the reader. The writer attempts to get the reader to agree with his point of view. He presents arguments, research, and ideas to convince the reader. And an argumentative writing approach is more formal and academic. The writer must back up his or her arguments with hard evidence, and it is based on logic and reasons. This week is the start of quarter 4, and today is lesson 1 or week 1 with the topic Introduction to Research, Research Jargons and Definitions. Most essential learning competency, distinguish technical terms used in research. In this lesson, you will distinguish terms commonly used in research. Specifically, this module will aid you in achieving the following. Get familiar with the technical jargons used in research. Accomplish a series of vocabulary exercises to deepen understanding of the topic. And show appreciation of research terms by completing a reflection sheet. Are you ready? Let's go! Before we proceed, answer first these questions. Write the letter of the correct answer in your answer sheet. Number 1. It is known as an organized, objective method of obtaining facts. A. Data, B. Hypothesis, C. Research, or D. Statistics. Number 2. A research term which is defined as the connection between two variables. A. Concept, B. Population, C. Relationship, or D. Validity? Number 3. It is referred to as a generalization that describes the relationships among occurrences. A. Abstract, B. Data, C. Experiment, or D. Theory? Number 4. Blank refers to the average deviation of a group of scores from the mean. Which research jargon would best complete the given sentence? A. External validity, B. Standard deviation, C. Statistical significance, or D. T-score? And number 5. Which of the following is the correct definition of the research term variable? Is it A. It is a quality of interest that can be manipulated or studied. B. It is a statement by the researcher stating the connection between variables. C. It is the degree to which a test or study measures what it is supposed to measure. Or letter D. It is a parametric statistical tool that looks into the differences between two means. Let's play a game. What word can be formed using these letters? This word means the systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. You're right! The word is research. Research is the systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. It is the creation of new knowledge and or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way so as to generate new concepts, methodologies, and understanding. In other words, we research to find out, discover, or resolve something in a systematic manner, making it a scientific study. Research is a process through which an individual or the researcher helps to search the definite or useful information from the number of respondents to evaluate or solve the problem-related questions. In research, we collect, evaluate, and interpret information to answer questions. That is why it's a full fun experience doing a research. Let's try to look at some of the objectives of research to find out why do we really need to do a research. Some of the objectives of research are as follows. First is to find out the real facts. As we know, every type of research has its own object, but the basic aim of the research is always to find out or obtain the information from the markets and societies and their number of respondents. A researcher evaluates or finds the real or exact information for our problem-related questions. Next is to achieve the new thoughts. In this objective of the research, anybody can find new thoughts from the research. Research is the process of finding the exact information through proper observation, optimization, and experiments. Also, to evaluate the information. The first aim of the research is to find out the information and then evaluate them in an appropriate or efficient manner, so that they can easily design the research problem and solve them also.
A researcher evaluates the information through various scientific approaches and methods, statistical analysis and procedures, and another type of tables and graphs. Next is to test a hypothesis. A research hypothesis is a statement of expectation or prediction that will be tested by research. In this objective of the research, the researcher does the causal relationship between the variables. The hypothesis testing study represents the number of actions like these terms. Next is to design or implement the research. After the collection of all information, the researcher prepares the structure of a research design for the company so that they can easily describe or identify the structure of a particular research team. The research design can be broadcasted into two forms such as experimental designs and non-experimental designs. After the structure of the research design, the researcher implements them in a problem and find out the optimum factor to solve them. And to improve the understanding. In this objective of the research, the researcher helps to improve the understanding of a particular topic by asking what else needs to be evidenced before the research is purposeful, or what knowledge could be assembled from a more focused investigation or scrutiny of the existing findings. Those are some of the many reasons why we do research. Now, to further understand research, we have to understand first the common terms used in it, or the jargons in research.
When we say jargons, these are special words or expressions that are used by a particular profession or group and are difficult for others to understand. Here are some examples. Due diligence. A business term, due diligence, refers to the research that should be done before making an important business decision. AWOL. Short for absent without leave. AWOL is military jargon used to describe a person whose whereabouts are unknown. Another is hard copy. Common term in business, academia, and other field. A hard copy is a physical printout of a document. Another is cache. In computing, cache refers to a place for a short memory storage. DepEd, a journalism term for a subheading, usually 1 or 2 sentences long, that provides a brief summary of the article that follows. Research has its own jargons or commonly used terms. Come on and let's find out some. Let us use the letters in the word research to know some of the commonly used terms in research. Starting with letter R. The word is research design. The game plan or method the researchers use to find out what they want to know. This is the overall strategy that the researcher will use as he performs his research. Next is letter E, or experiment. A research design employed to determine cause-effect relationship. And this is what we have in experiment in research. S for subject. A research subject is an individual that participates in research. Subjects are the people who are being studied and observed in a study. E for extraneous. This is a variable that may affect or contaminate the data. In an experiment, an extraneous variable is any variable that you're not investigating that can potentially affect the outcomes of your research study. Letter A for abstract. A concise overview of a research study. This is a short summary of your completed research. It is intended to describe your work without going into a great detail. Abstracts should be self-contained and concise, explaining your work as briefly and clearly as possible. R for relationship. This word in research means the connection or bond between two variables or entities. And C for concept. Concept is the building blocks or important components of theories. In scientific research, concepts are the abstract ideas or phenomena that are being studied. Researchers generate concepts by generalizing from a particular facts. Example of concept is educational achievement. Other examples of concepts include common demographic measures like income, age, education level, number of siblings, and others. And H for hypothesis. Hypothesis is a statement proposed by a researcher expressing the relationship between or among the variables. A research hypothesis is a statement of expectation or prediction that will be tested by research.
Activity time! Read the paragraph and fill in the blanks with the correct research terminologies. Choose your answers from the box and write it on your answer sheet. Ready? Why do research? When people are interested in exploring a problem using a scientific approach, it is said that they are doing a. In relation to this, the person who is in control of the research is called the. On the other hand, the people who are being examined in the study are called. Another important notion in research that is defined as an abstract generalization that describes a systematic presentation about relationships among phenomena is called a. Aside from that, another factor that plays a significant purpose in research that is also known as the building blocks of theories are called. In general, the concepts that are studied and observed in a research are called. This may be classified into several types. The concept that is being studied that usually indicates the influence or cause is called the variable, while the one that the researcher is most interested in understanding is called the variable. In addition to these two, variables that may influence or contaminate the data are called the variables. Eventually, A research will become successful if the researchers are concerned about the groups involved in their study. If the group that is being studied has members that are different from one another, it is said to be, while groups with members having similar qualities are called. When studying variables, definitions must be clarified. A variable such as anxiety may be defined as a feeling of uneasiness. This type of definition is also known as. To measure anxiety, the state trait anxiety scale must be used. This, in contrast, would be called the definition. Furthermore, researchers have to keep in mind that there are two major categories of research designs. One design, the approach, uses data with numerical representation or values, whereas the second design uses narrative data. Did you get all the correct terms in research? Very good! For the next activity, identify the correct research jargon by completing the letters of the words given. Write your answer on your answer sheet. This time, read the statements and arrange the jumbled letters to come up with the correct answer. Number 1. It is the arithmetic average. The word is mean. Number 2. It shows a relationship between variables but not limited to cause-effect. The answer is correlational study. Number 3. It happens by chance. The word is random. Number 4. It is the score that occurs the most. Okay, mode is the word. Number 5. These are pieces of information that can be in the form of number or words. Very good, data. Number 6. It is the extent to which a study measures what it is supposed to measure. Yes, internal validity. Number 7. In experiments, it is the group that does not undergo the treatment. Alright, control study. Number 8. It is the group that gets the treatment. It is experimental group. Number 9. It is a research design that describes what is, an example of which is a survey. You're right, descriptive study. And number 10, it is a short overview of a research study. It is abstract. Amazing! you have completed the different jargons or terms in research. To further check your understanding about our lesson today, try to analyze the excerpt from a sample study conducted by a group of junior high school students. Write your answer on your answer sheet. The influence of gadgets in learning among grade 10 students. This study aims to determine the impact of gadgets in the learning of grade 10 students at Ramon Magsaysay High School during the school year 2019-2020. It looked into the frequency of use of the gadgets in learning, such as our smartphones, computers, and tablets, and the impact of which in learning as perceived by the students. Likewise, it determined the significant relationship between the frequency of use and the impacts of gadgets. So do you think the abstract gave the readers a brief overview of the study? Explain your answer. From the abstract given, what hypothesis can you form in relation to the study? Give the dependent and independent variables of the study.
Now that you know the different terms in research, remember that jargon is a specialized language used by a specific group of people. When a jargon is used to confuse or mislead, it is considered negative. However, it is appropriate when carried out within a specific profession or area of study. Moreover, jargon is necessary especially when various specialized fields such as medicine, technology, and law require its usage to explain complicated ideas and concepts. Lastly, jargon clarifies meaning and allows you to share information effectively. It is deeply meaningful to the people who used it. So you have to be careful when using the previously mentioned jargons when carrying out your own research. Good job, grade 10! What a day of learning and fun experience with your teacher explorer, Mama Reese. Join me in discovering English around us. See you next meeting!